Today's show is pre-recorded.
Y'all know what time it is. Y'all don't know, y'all better ask somebody. Hat on, suit on, looking like a dapper dog, giving them all dressed like $1 million bucks, diamond things in its cuffs. Y'all tell me who could it be but Steve Harvey? Yeah, everybody out there listening to me. Put your hands together for Steve Harvey. Put your hands together. Why don't you join in? Yeah. Steve Harvey, come on, y'all. Better give me some eggs while I listen to Steve Harvey. Won't you join in with me? If you're with me, help me say, turn your radio on. You gotta turn it on, yeah. Turn it on. Steve Harvey in the morning, y'all. Steve Harvey got to turn them out. Got to turn them out. Harvey turn them on in the morning, y'all. Come on, Steve. Come on. Do your thing, Big Daddy.
I sure will. Good morning, everybody. You're listening to The Voice. Come on, dig me now. One and only Steve Harvey got a radio show. Today is real simple. For everybody that's trying to become successful on any level, in any arena, any genre, I don't care what it is, if you're trying to be successful, this message is for you. Let me help you understand something real clear. You ain't going to make it the way you want to, and you're not going to make it to the heights that's fully out there and available for you without God. I'm just going to keep it real simple and clean for you today. You're not going to make it the way you want to, and you're not going to get to the heights that's available to you without God. You have to get this through your head. You can try it if you want to, because I did. I'm here to tell you, I am talking purely from experience here. You can try it without God, and you can see how far you can get. Will you have some measures of success? Of course you will. Will it feel like days like you might make it? Of course you will. But let me ask you a question, though. What you going to do about them days when you feel like you ain't going to make it? When you going to do about them days where it feel like there are no answers to your questions? What you going to do about them days? What you going to do about them days when everybody laughing at you and turn against you? What you going to do about them days when you just don't see no way through it? What you going to do about them days? I got the sunshine. You know, sunshine cool. Everybody got friends when it's sunny outside. You want some friends? Hit the lotto. You want to get rid of them friends? Go ask for some help. Man, I'm talking about, man, they scatter like roaches when lights come on. I'm trying to tell you. So now, here we go again. You can do this without God now, because I've done it. And you can have yourself some measure of success. Let me even hip you to a little bit closer, though. Let me tell you why you are doing it without God and having some measure of success. Can I tell you why? Because of God's grace and mercy to us. Because of his grace and mercy trying to keep us in spite of ourselves for the real mission that he really got for us. See, that's the truth of the matter now. Now what we talking about now, Steve. See, so yeah, you can do it without God, and you can have some measure of success without God. And you got your little degree and everything, or you completed the program, got all that, yada, yada, yada. But don't you know something? It's because of God's grace and mercy that he helps us anyway, even when we ain't asking for help, when he bails us out anyway, when we ain't even asking to be bailed out. You know why? Because he loves us that much, that he would allow us to exist until we get our mind together where he could take us where he's really trying to take us. Let's get this real straight and clear today. You can do this without God if you want to. But I am telling you, to get to where you really want to be and to be all that God has for you, you got to have God. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. And let me tell you this here. I don't really care what nobody done told you. Are you listening to me? I don't care what they say. Don't get this thing twisted. They got these people out here talking about they Illuminatis and all this here. Man, don't listen to me. Don't get caught in this mess. Don't get caught in no foolishness. You were created by God. God created you and your soul. We were all created in his image. All of us. Don't get to talking about you finna cut a deal with the devil and all. You ain't cutting no deal with nobody, man. The devil don't do deals. He one-sided. I'm taking you to hell, you going to hell, you'll burn in hell. That's his deal. I want your soul. I want you to lose hope. I want you to take your life. I want you to take some other people's lives. I want you to feel hopeless. I want you to realize that there ain't no God. That's his whole deal. His whole deal is negative. Oh, he can talk you into dealing drugs if you want to, but let me tell you something about this. I watch these shows all the time. Drug Inc. and all this here, cocaine mafia. Everybody on now go to jail or get killed. Our prisons is filled today with our young boys because they thought they could outslick the system. They thought they had a way. They thought. They sitting up in here and they fell for the old cliche, man, I got to do what I got to do. I got to get this money. Well, the only reason you got to do what you got to do is because, like I say all the time, you didn't do what you were supposed to do. It is but because of his grace and mercy that we exist. And God is just taking care of you, looking out for you. Got some angels encamped around you until you get your mind right so he can get you where you're going. But now I want you to understand something. There's a cost and a consequence and a penalty for everything we do that's outside the will of God. That's for all of us. All of us have consequences, penalties, and everything that we got to deal with outside of the will of God. Understand that clearly. Don't get this thing twisted sideways. You understand me? You know, I heard a young man tell me one day, he said, Steve, you know, man, I just don't see how God looking out for me if he would allow all these things to happen to me. I'm having such a hard time in my life. I really don't see how there's a God looking out for me. I looked at the young man. I said, let me ask you something, man. You still breathing? He said, yeah, I'm standing here talking to you. I said, you're still free? He said, what you mean? I said, you ain't locked up, are you? He said, no, I'm standing here talking to you. I said, where you get them clothes from? I bought them. I said, well, you bought them with what? I bought them with money. I said, where you get the money from, young man? He said, I got a job, Mr. Harvey. I got a job. I said, well, where you live, though? He said, I got an apartment. I said, well, where you get the apartment from? Mr. Harvey, I'm working. I got an apartment. I got a job. I said, oh, okay. Okay. So now this God ain't looking out for you thing. Finish telling me what you telling me. Well, see, man, I'm having it real hard right now. I said, hey, man, are you hungry? Have you had lunch yet? He said, yeah, I already had lunch yet. I said, oh, okay. So go on and finish telling me about this, how God ain't looking out for you. He said, and you know, man, every time I try to do something, it seemed like it go wrong for me. I said, but let me ask you something, man. I say, every time it go wrong for you, I say, somehow you survive it. He said, yeah, I survive it some kind of way, but it still be all messed up for me. I say, but you still got through it, though. He said, yeah. I said, okay, man, go on and finish telling me how God ain't looking out for you. And he stopped. He said, hey, Mr. Harvey, he said, how come every time I tell you something that's going wrong, you keep telling me God looking out for me? I said, because you still here, man. I said, see, you don't understand it. I said, you seem to think that you're supposed to skate through life, that it's all supposed to go how you want it, any kind of way. I said, man, these is the test of your faith. I said, God looking out for you the whole time. I said, every time you tell me something going wrong, you seem to turn around and tell me how you survived it. You keep telling me what ain't going right, but you keep telling me all these things you have. I said, man, so what you got to do is you got to stop looking at the what you ain't got column and start focusing on the what you do have column. But if you ain't happy with nothing he done for you, you want him to keep piling stuff on. I said, you failing the test, young man. The test is, are you grateful for where you are right now so I could give you more so we can move forward? He said, oh, man, I never even looked at it like that. I said, well, why don't you take your blessed self on somewhere and sit down? He said, man, I think I'm going to go on over here and let you finish talking. I said, thank you, son. Sometimes you just got to look at what you do got, folks. That's all it is, okay? You can't make it without God, y'all. You got me today? All right, let's be clear. Let's go.
You're listening
to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me have your undivided attention. We are about to begin a process called the Morning Show. I am Steve Harvey. I am nothing without the following members I'm about to announce. Ladies and gentlemen, best voice in all of radio, Shirley Strawberry.
Good morning, Steve. Thank you. Happy Monday.
Producer extraordinaire, went to college, HBCU, studied broadcast communications, engineering and production facilitation. Ladies and gentlemen, our producer, Carla Farrell.
Thank you, Steve Harvey, and it's program director, but who's worried about titles?
Obviously you are.
Right.
My bad. Ladies and gentlemen, a young rising star in the comedy field was discovered at an amateur night. Found out he had chops. His name is Keir Spates. We affectionately around here call him Junior. Ladies and gentlemen, rising star.
Morning. Not a good day there.
Ladies and gentlemen, a friend of mine since 1986. First comedy road gig I ever had. I pulled up at a Red Roof Inn. They told me we were roommates. I knocked on his door. He told me he don't share rooms. I had $15. He didn't know it, but I was staying somewhere. He then gave me the money for the room, $29.95. I got my own room, took my $11 and bought an iron with it from Target. Ladies and gentlemen, we became friends. He taught me the business that I am currently residing in now. Ladies and gentlemen, the most bitter man in all of comedy. But a comedic genius and owner of the J-Spot. Tailor extraordinary, used to make his own clothes right before we went out. Pants with no pockets. Ladies and gentlemen, Jay the Taylor Brown.
What up, Steve? How you doing, man?
And last but certainly not least, a member of my family since birth, quite an amazing story, was the first black graduate with the theater arts major at the racist Texas A&M University. He the first black ever in the 80s. What? The hell, you the first black in the 80s. What was they holding us out of? But he got a degree from them anyway. The Texas Aggies,
Oh, my God.
famously known as the king of pranks and a television star, nephew Tommy.
Yeah. Top of the Monday morning, Uncle Steve.
And now
Good
we
morning,
use
everybody.
the
Shirley
whole
Carla.
break to introduce everyone except me. So let me end this very
Bring
quickly.
yourself out.
Go
Bring
ahead.
yourself out.
Ladies and gentlemen,
He said
the one and only Steve Harvey.
bring him out.
All right.
Bring them out.
Thank
Bring
you,
them out.
Steve.
Bring them out.
Coming up at 32 minutes after the hour, we'll find out what the CLO thinks about your love questions. We'll have him right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up next hour, South Carolina Democratic Senator candidate Jaime Harrison will be our special guest. We're going to discuss Harrison's Senate race against the incumbent Republican Senator Lindsey Graham. We'll talk to Jaime Harrison next hour, but right now it is time for Steve to help some people, help our listeners out there.
Let me make one more introduction.
Oh,
We gave
okay.
introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Harvey has also produced more people who have taken full credit for his being. More people have claimed to have made me than God. Ladies and gentlemen, they know who they are. Both of them. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't say their names for fear of lawsuits, but they know who they are. They're listening. They have nothing else to do. Go ahead, Shirley.
Oh, my God.
Now,
Oh, my God.
now,
We'll toss it
Steve.
to you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to get back to him.
All right, if you have some questions for the CLO, make sure you go to steveharveyfm.com and submit your questions, okay? Here we go. CLO Chief Love Officer Tito, online listener, says, I am a 37-year-old single man, and I have an admirer at church. She's my pastor's older sister, so she has to be over 65. She started flirting, squeezing my arms, and commenting on my physique, and now every Sunday she wants a hug. Last week she asked me to walk her to her car. She had cooked for me and gave me 3 big aluminum trays full of food. As I loaded the food in my car, she stopped me and said she's also a great cook in the bedroom. Surely she doesn't think I'd have sex with her. Oh, and her food was terrible. How can I get her to leave me alone?
Well, first of all, let me clear you up with something. Surely she do think you gonna get in bed with her.
Right.
Because ain't no old-ass woman made you 3 aluminum trays full of food and not want something in return. She wants
3
you, dog.
aluminum pans of food? You know how much food that is?
Boy, that's them big pans.
That's a
about
lot
4
of
inches
food.
deep. The ones you usually have just dressing in. Yeah, she wants you, boy. And she cook good in bed, too. So now, what you want us to tell you, dog? How old did he say he was?
37.
37,
and she's 60,
dog.
over 65.
Yeah. Tell her you ain't interested. You ever tried that? Just try that.
Come here, give me a hug.
And she can't cook. What did we hug your non-cooking ass off of me?
They're at church, Steve. She's a pastor's sister, don't forget.
Get your non-cooking ass off me.
Still?
They was out at the car, Shirley. They wasn't in church.
All right. Still, I consider that holy ground, too, but okay. All
Not
right,
the
Nicole.
parking lot. No, I was in the parking lot ministry.
So then it was holy ground, right?
Because we used to have cars getting stolen during service. And so they put me in the parking lot ministry because I cussed. I was stopping people with profanity. I see you climbing the fence. Hey, man, get the blank off the fence. I see your blankety blank. I see you blankety blank. And, so car theft went down. We had only lost 1 car in a whole year after I took over. And after that, I had won the Young Christian of the Year award.
Oh, really? Oh, you
All right.
something you're proud.
Nicole in Dallas, she says, I'm a 35-year-old married woman pregnant by my 25-year-old boyfriend. I've been married for 6 years and we've been trying to get pregnant but couldn't because of my husband's health issues. Now I'm pregnant. He thinks it's a miracle and he wants to stop taking his blood pressure medication. I have to tell him this is not his child, so he will need his blood pressure pills, plus some more pills.
What?
There's no easy way to tell him, but I'm very happy about the baby. How should I break the news to him?
What?
Oh, this is stupid.
Well, let me tell you something, lady. What we not going to do is get in the middle of this, because there is no best way to break this news to him. You got a 25-year-old boyfriend that impregnated you, and you real happy about the baby. And your husband can't have kids because of his medical condition. So now, we don't know how you're going to break it to him.
Right.
So we don't know. We don't know.
Next.
I promise you I don't know. You don't know. And don't even ask me.
Yeah.
I'm not. Ain't no good way to do this right here.
No.
I can tell you what's going to happen, but we ain't going to tell you what you should do.
What's going to happen?
Oh, my God.
Somebody,
It's
I know.
going to start with an ass. That's where it's going to start.
That's the first.
And
I
where
like
goes
it when it
from there.
starts like that. Though.
And
It
then
start with an
it's
ass.
going to probably snowball into somebody going to be doing some serious ass time.
Wow. All right. T-Mac in Ohio says, I'm in my mid-40s, and my wife is a constant nag and buzzkill. I can say that I'm going to the store. She'll tell me to be more careful, because I'm a black man and there's a target on me. I can be gone for 10 minutes, and she's calling me to check on me. If she doesn't agree with something I want to do, like go to watch a high school football game, she nags me about COVID-19, and I usually end up not going. Just to keep the peace. She gets on my nerves all day, every day. How can I handle this? And be careful how you handle this and answer this, sir.
Well, me and Jay is on the show. We, we got a show fire where you ain't got to hear this no more.
Three ways, real quick.
Real fast.
Yeah, 5 total tweeners.
Yeah.
You ain't got to hear
my
that.
one.
You ain't. We got 6.
Yeah.
We got 6
That's
ways.
right.
Yeah, on this show, you can handle it. Ain't got to hear it no damn more.
You won't have to
Now,
hear it, man.
now if you want to hear that, but I want you to understand now. This is very final, very final. This ain't
cost
this.
you.
Yeah, it's gonna cost you. Yeah, and this does not involve counseling. Yeah. All
right.
This is real permanent, dog. So be careful.
We got to go. Thank you, CLO.
But
Coming
at
up
least next fall you'll be at the football game.
Coming up next, church complaints with Reverend Motown and Deacon Def Jam right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up at the top of the hour, Miss Ann will continue her series, Why We Vote. Today's segment, Miss Ann will talk about last-minute mail-in voting.
And
also,
Shirley?
yes.
When is sports?
Oh, it's coming up in the 9 o'clock hour,
Just
I believe.
asking.
No,
8:46.
You know what? When you
Eastern.
win, when your team win, why is it you want to know when sports is? When you get on my nerve with this. You really.
Oh well. Somebody must have lost.
Don't make it up, Tommy. Why, though?
Yeah, it's 8:46 Eastern. All right, also get ready for next hour. South Carolina Democrat Senatorial candidate Jaime Harrison will be our special guest. He is running against the incumbent Lindsey Graham. You know him, the senator from South Carolina. Yeah, we'll
And
talk
he
about
probably
that.
gonna win.
Let's hope so. But right now, it is time to have some fun. It's Monday, day after Sunday. Time now for Reverend Motown and Deacon Def Jam with today's church complaints.
Oh, gracious Lord.
Yeah.
Gavel ye one and all. Gavel. We is here for Monday to consummate the dispensation of coronitis of violation of rules and regulations.
Yeah.
These is church complaints. Go ahead, Deacon.
Pastor Wald, W-A-L-D, Wald, the Wald ministry is upset with what they seeing on Zoom, and they want you to speak with these people. That's the Wald, W-A-L-D ministry. That's the white after Labor Day. They want you to handle what's going on with what they seeing on Zoom. Evidently, there's a lot of people wearing white after Labor Day, and they want you to handle that.
Ain't no problem. Here's my response. There's another ministry called Bald.
Bald, B-A-L-D. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Now, what is bald? I heard
I think
wall.
it's self-explanatory, if you ask me. Black after Labor Day.
Black after.
Okay.
Which is also another one called BACT. That's
BACT.
B-A-C-D.
B-A-C-D. What is
That's-
now? What is that now?
Black after Christmas Day. And then
These are. I didn't know nothing about these ministries right here.
and
These
then
are
there's
different ministries.
BADE. There's another organization, BADE, B-A-D-E.
Bade. What is Bade, Pastor?
Black after the day after Easter. Which means that our ass is black most every day. And we don't have that rule anymore because hip-hop has erased that rule. Hip-hop and Lisa Ray have eradicated the rules of no white. So don't worry about that no more. That's gone.
All right. Let me tell you what else we got. There are some members who need immediate help. Last Sunday, you kept saying, do y'all hear me? Do y'all hear me? But the hearing aid ministry kept saying, we never got the sermon. What was it called? So the hearing aid ministry is not hearing you, Pastor.
That's why, do y'all hear me? I said, do you hear me? Knowing full well they ain't heard a damn thing I said. But the rhythm of saying, do y'all hear me? It just sounds good. That's why I say it. It is not directed at the people who can't hear good. I know they don't hear me.
Right. Okay.
And all that is checking in with them. That's all.
That's all it is.
Because if they do hear me, then they can get on out the hearing aid ministry. The moment they answer back, healing has come.
Amen.
Amen. Let him use you.
Let him use you. All right, Pastor, brace yourself now. Some of the members would like to go over your expense account. We see gas when you're not really driving anywhere. We see money for suits when you wearing the same thing. And we see communion wine. How can you get communion when you serving us on Zoom? And they want to understand what's going on with you and these expenses, Pastor.
Well, y'all may not be doing communion, but I am.
What?
And that's a church expense.
But you done bought a case of communion wine, Pastor, and you the only one doing your communion. We don't understand
No. I do viral communion. See, I do communion for everybody on Zoom. I take it for you.
So you drinking communion for all of the members?
Every last member. Who else do that? See, that's what make my ministry stronger than these other so-called fake pastors. I know my flock is not here for communion, so I take communion for them. Let church say amen.
Amen.
Amen again.
Amen. Okay.
I'm going to help you get to heaven even if you don't want to go.
All right. All of the members are tired of seeing the praise dancers. We saw it this past Sunday and the Sunday before that. They are really tired of seeing it. Would you be interested in praise strippers?
What?
Praise strippers.
I'm very open to that because we're not getting anywhere with this praise ministry. I lowers my head most of the Zoom calls. There's no weight restrictions of any kind. And they're up in here, and when Sister Earlene puts her praise gown on, and just her whole Zoom call is just white. And she's standing back off her computer, and she's still in the whole frame.
Right
so
there.
Yes, we is open to going down and reach the souls that need it the most.
On the way out, Pastor, Sister Daisy Lattimore has made panty masks, but members want to know whose panties they were before they put them on. She doesn't want to tell nobody, but Brother Carl says he knows that Sister Brenda on his face. He knows it, but he's asking, can you at least let us know where these panties came from? Panty masks.
If you buy them from Sister Gertrude, she's making 18 masks out of one pair.
Good God. Wait a minute.
We gotta go.
What?
Coming up at the top of the hour, entertainment and national news right after this. Jesus.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up in 20 minutes, South Carolina Democratic Senatorial candidate Jaime Harrison will be our special guest. Harrison is running against the incumbent Republican Senator Lindsey Graham. We've all heard of him. Jaime Harrison in 20 minutes on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. You don't want to miss it. Also, Miss Ann is standing by to talk about last-minute mail-in voting in her series called Why We Vote. But first, in today's entertainment news, R&B singer and musical legend Angela Bofill is not dead. You hear that, Steve? She is not dead. On Saturday, October 24th, Angela Bofill became the victim of a death hoax, and it was circulating all over social media. Angela Bofill corrected the rumor in a Facebook post. She said, "My manager, Rich Engel, just informed me that I died." Thank you, everyone, for everyone reaching out, but I am very much on the right side of the grass. So
who does that? Who makes these type of hoax like that? Who does that?
So terrible. But we are so glad.
And it seems
you better sing my song.
It's not enough.
Let him use you.
And you know I care.
You know he gonna probably need this whole.
Even if you're
Angela
not there.
Bofill, for young people listening. That's
He's
her
taking
most
us out.
famous song.
I tried.
Not what you want.
And ladies, when you breaking up with somebody.
Boy, that's if y'all ain't got it, please go Apple Music and buy I Try. And I promise you gonna love it. For those of you that's not familiar with it, I Try by Angela Bofill. Pull it up, buy it, 99 cents. You'll make it a forever in your class. I'd like to dedicate that to Carla Farrell.
That's my jam. Thank you, sir.
I try to do the best I can for you, but it seems it's not enough.
Loser.
Oh, that's a bad jam. I saw her live at the Front Row Theater.
Yes. Is there anybody you ain't
Lord,
seen?
I wanted her. Hell no.
You seen
Me
everybody?
and J. Anthony Brown done been to every damn concert. On a dog. It was the only thing to do back then. That was the date.
Yeah.
Phyllis Hyman, Angela Bofill. I saw Sade
we seen
live.
them all.
Oh, dog.
Phyllis Hyman was cold.
Dog. Shaka Khan,
Yes.
Maze.
Phyllis Hyman was-
I opened for Maze was my first opening gig, and a friend of mine, James Woodford, gave me $200 and bought me a linen suit to open for Maze. God,
Man.
Have you
I
seen
made
him?
$250. Yeah, he stole $33,000 from me.
Who did?
James Woodford.
How much though?
$33,000. All
Who
I
stole?
had. $33,000. 1995. Stole $33,000. All I had. All I had.
How?
All I had. He was the
How'd that
manager of my
happen?
comedy club.
Oh, in Dallas?
Oh, I looked for him for years.
What?
That's why I didn't get paid when I came up there. Oh,
Money was gone. What
He
you want me
didn't
to
have
do?
it, Jay.
no money. He didn't have no money.
Oh, that's crazy.
Get it from
He said,
James.
Jay ain't got no money. He said, I ain't got
It
no
was
money.
on the strength of your friendship.
Wait a minute. No. So Uncle used to book Jay too?
Oh, Jay came all the time, boy.
Dog, Jay came to my club. Dog, you who's who in the only person that was somebody right now that ain't been to my comedy club was Chappelle, Rock, and Martin Lawrence.
Junior,
Other
it
than
was
that,
laid out, man. It was nice.
all the rest of them been there. Everybody else been
I
there.
was there. I was there. The lights went out one night. Completely out.
That's because he didn't have money to
Yeah,
pay
I was
him.
there the last
All right.
weekend.
Yeah.
All right,
Had a
Steve,
couple
it's time now for Miss Ann's series, Why We Vote. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Ann Tripp.
Okay, thank you very much. Ooh, I learned something every time he talks. Good morning. This is Ann Tripp with the news. Okay, well, President Trump has been claiming that we've, quote, turned the corner in the fight against the coronavirus. His White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, told CNN's Jake Tapper that the Trump administration's basically given up trying to keep it from spreading.
We're not going to control the pandemic. We are going to control the fact that we get vaccines, therapeutics, and other mitigation
Why aren't we going to get
areas
control of the pandemic?
But because it is a contagious virus, just like the flu.
Well, it's not like the seasonal flu. It's much deadlier. In fact, there have been 83,000 newly confirmed cases of it in the U.S. on Friday. Oh, well. Now to the subject of the election.
They've lost ballots. There's fraudulent ballots.
As we enter the final stretch of the 2020 presidential election season, here's some straightforward last-minute information courtesy of Amber McReynolds, head of the National Vote at Home Institute and Coalition.
In some states, they call it absentee voting. Some states call it vote by mail. Some call it mail-in voting. But fundamentally, the ballot is handled in the same way in terms of processing and counting. The big issue is a signature discrepancy or a missing signature, and that just means that the voter's signature on file doesn't match what's on the envelope exactly. So most states have a cure process where voters can resolve that discrepancy, and that goes the same for a missing signature. On the top of a ballot, you'll see mark this ballot, fill in the oval using black or blue ink. Follow the instructions in terms of marking the ballot, and then also follow the instructions with regards to returning the ballot. There's still a few states that require a witness. Not everyone lives with another adult. I think that this provision inadvertently disenfranchises people, and it makes the process more difficult. In most states, there are provisions set up where you can drop your ballot off either at drop boxes or at voting locations or at the clerk's office. In some states, you are allowed to drop off at polling places, but that's actually pretty limited. Make sure you follow the instructions and check your state's rules. Go to canivote.org, which is a website run by the National Association of Secretaries of State, and you can put in any state that you're in, and it will give you all the details you need for your state.
That was Amber McReynolds, head of the National Vote at Home Institute and Coalition. That website again is canivote.org. This is Ann Tripp. Now back to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Hey, listen, everybody. As promised, our special guest this morning is the former chairman of the South Carolina Democratic Party. He's right now running against the incumbent Senator Lindsey Graham. We all know how we feel about him. We all know what he is. It's not a game. He is everything he's ever been trumped up to be, and even more so now, so he got to go. He has been the incumbent senator of South Carolina for too long, and right now he holds a U.S. Senate seat, but in a state where no Democrat has ever won the Senate seat in over 20 years, we now have a close race on our hands, and we have an option in South Carolina where we all get to play a part in making history and changing the direction of this great state. Our very own J. Anthony Brown is from South Carolina, but ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the man that's about to change things in South Carolina. Please welcome the only choice for South Carolina.
Come on.
Mr. Jaime Harrison.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
In the building.
Yes.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Jaime, how you doing today, sir?
Oh, Steve, I'm doing so well, man. I'm blessed and fortunate, and I'm ready to send Lindsey Graham home.
Well, listen, man, we want to congratulate you because over the weekend, your campaign raised over $2 million in 48 hours. And as the polls are now showing, you have a lead over your Republican opponent, Lindsey Graham. We're not comfortable, but we want to say congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We still got a lot of work to do, though, Steve. A lot of folks to get to the polls.
And listen, South Carolina, we want everybody, every member of the Steve Harvey Nation, Steve Harvey Morning Show crew, all of us have voted. We are all in support of the right ticket. And this man right here has a chance to make history. And we have him on today. He's going to tell us what he is about so we can know exactly. We already know what Lindsey Graham is about. We already got it. We've heard enough. We've seen enough. This dude ain't fitting to change. He too old to change. So let's just get it on. As the focus on healthcare has grown during this pandemic, Jaime, you've emphasized the need for Medicaid expansion. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yes, sir. Well, listen, Steve, we live in a state where almost 250,000 people don't have health care. Where just 2 years ago, 14 of our 46 counties didn't have an OBGYN in the entire county. Now, think about that. An entire county actually having 14 of them and not have one OBGYN in the entire county. Wow. But 4 of our rural hospitals have closed over the past few years. And Lindsey Graham right now supports a lawsuit that is sitting in the Supreme Court that will be heard on November 10th that has a potential of ripping away the health care of 28 million people in this country, many with pre-existing conditions.
Hey, Jaime, listen, hang on one second. Jaime, we'll be right back with more with future Senator Jaime Harrison right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, y'all, we're back, and we're talking with candidate for senator of South Carolina, Mr. Jaime Harrison, running against Lindsey Graham, who has got to go. So you've really made a connection with Democrats, man, a strong segment of independents, and a small group of moderate Republicans are supporting you too. What message do you have for the voters of South Carolina?
We need some real leadership on these issues, and Lindsey Graham has showed us that he cares more about Washington political games than he does the lives of the people in the state, and that's why it's time for him to go.
Yeah, on so many levels, man, because Mr. Jaime Harrison is running for Senate in South Carolina. Make no mistake about this. We have a chance to put a man in a Senate seat, which we need control of desperately, to stop this machine that's in place that's taking away everything that's of benefit to people who really need help. And so healthcare is one of those things.
Well, Steve, in this race, Lindsey Graham is trying to scare people to vote for him. I'm trying to inspire people to support me. And that's the big contrast and difference in this race. As I told folks from the very start, this is not about Democrats versus Republicans or progressives versus conservatives. It's about doing what's right versus what's wrong. And for far too long, they've been doing the wrong thing here in South Carolina, and people have been suffering. And I know what hard times are. I grew up in Orangeburg, South Carolina, son of a teen mom. My mom was 16 years old when she had me. Dropped out of high school, and it was my grandparents who took care of me. My grandma had an 8th grade education because she had to stop school and she picked cotton and she worked in a textile plant. My grandfather had a 4th grade education. But, despite all the hardships we had, I always had hope that things could get better. They had hope that things would get better for me. I was the first in my family to go to college, went to Yale, went to Georgetown Law School. I taught high school. I worked for Jim Clyburn. And, I've been blessed and I've lived the American dream. But the reason why I'm running is because I want the other little kids growing up today, some of the ones that are watching my TV ads and are coming to our rallies, I want them to be able to live their American dream. But you've got to have the right type of people in leadership in order to do that, who actually care about those kids and the things that they're going through. Senator Graham, I used to respect. I used to thought that he cared about it, but I see that he only cares about his own political power. And that is why we have to change things. It's about closing the book on the Old South and writing a brand new book called The New South, one that is bold, inclusive, and diverse, where all of our voices should be heard and valued. And that's what I'm fighting for each and every day. And I hope South Carolina will give me the opportunity on November 3rd.
What do you say to the people of South Carolina who are waiting to decide or haven't voted? Why should they choose Jaime Harrison?
Well, Steve, the people that we send to Washington have to be folks who understand the hardships that we've gone through. Man, I can recall mornings, getting up to go get a bowl of cereal, and I go to the fridge to get some milk, and there's no milk. Not because somebody forgot the carton of milk, it's because we couldn't afford it. And so, we've had hard times. But despite the hard times, we always had hope that things would be better. I don't think there's ever been a senator that grew up on food stamps. I don't think there was ever a senator ever evicted from their homes and had to lay on couch cushions and patterns, as my grandma would say, in the houses of aunts and uncles, right? But those are the things that I bring to the United States Senate. So it won't be an academic discussion for me when we're talking about housing and the high eviction rates here in South Carolina, or when we're talking about the unemployment benefit that so many people need here. And Lindsey Graham said, over his dead body, will he allow an extension of the unemployment benefit? So, that won't be an academic discussion because I'll understand it. I'll know it because I've lived it. And that's the difference that I'll bring. We've only had 10 black senators in the United States ever.
Wow.
That's right.
Period. Make it happen. Jaime, hey, man, we love you, brother. Thank you for your fight,
love
your courage.
You too, man.
Thank you for everything you're doing, and we're going to show them up. We're going to keep pushing, man. We're going to get it across the line.
That's right.
Yeah.
And vote early. Don't wait till November 3rd. Go ahead and vote now.
That's right.
Man,
exactly.
Thank you so much, man, and congratulations, man. Thank you very much.
Well, guys, 8 days until the November 3rd election. Please go vote. Please.
We're
please
dwindling down.
And vote early, okay? Coming up next, the nephew with the prank phone call as we switch gears right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up at the top of the hour, right about 4 minutes after, it's my strawberry letter for today. The subject, I don't want to hurt the little guy.
Wow.
We'll get into that.
See, I don't like that. I don't like how that sounds.
Yeah, I know you don't.
And I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, but you know who it could be about, though.
Into it.
Nephew Tommy is here right now with today's prank phone call. What you got for us, Neff?
You can't come back to church. You can't come back to church. Let's go, Cat.
Well, why not?
Here it is. Listen.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm trying to reach Sister Sharice Mayfield.
Who is this?
Deacon Bounds from the church.
Deacon who?
Bounds from the
what? From our church?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
From here. Can you hear me good? This old phone don't work good.
Yeah, my phone okay.
Okay, that I called and the deacon board didn't have a meeting as well as Pastor and they didn't have a meeting and they come to the understanding that they're gonna ask you to not come to church right now because them boys of yours, Eric and James, being in jail the way they is, and want you to just I don't know if they're gonna suspend you from church right now, but they think it put a bad look on the church.
My kids being in jail put a bad look on the church.
Well, that's what they come up with. Now we didn't have a meeting with the deacon board and with Pastor Stoves.
I don't understand why y'all have a meeting about my kids in the church. What my kids got to do with the church?
Well, what we're trying to do is show a good example to the youth that we got there.
Okay, you can show a good example by me being there paying my tithes and offering.
Well, that's another thing that's been brought to our attention that we're going to be calling a lot of members about is people not paying the tithes the way they supposed to.
I pay my tithes. I don't know who told you that, Deacon Barnes. I don't even know, first of all, who you are, and I'm not trying to be mean to you. And I don't even understand how you even got my phone number.
Well, now
but I pay my tithes, I pay my offering. Go on your computer at the church, call your secretary or whoever.
Well, let me ask you this, Sister Mayfield. Do you pay your tithes according to what you make?
Yes, I do. Check the books.
Well. Now what it is, we can't check the books if we don't know exactly what you make. Is what I'm saying.
What I make is my business between me and Jesus. I give him his 10%, and that's all Mars Hill need to know.
I understand exactly where you come from, but now the main issue on the table is about these boys and being disrupted the way they are. They don't want that to be to bleed over into the youth choir.
Wait a minute. First of all, I would appreciate if you would have Pastor to tell me this himself, and then second of all, if somebody's kids is having trouble in the world or whatever, y'all supposed to pray for them, not put them at the church or their mama.
Well, we gonna pray for, and we're gonna pray for you too. But we don't want this to shed over to the youth that we got that's doing good with this.
Well, I'm gonna keep coming. Y'all can't stop me from coming to the church. I'm gonna keep coming. So I don't know who you talking to, and you tell Pastor to call me himself and tell me I can't come to Hill, and you have nobody calling me telling me that I can't come to Hill. That is a free church.
I'm gonna get the pastor called. Well,
you get the pastor to call me because you have no business calling me telling me that I can't come to God's house.
Well, Sister Mayfield, I don't want you to get in no uproar with me. Now,
I'm not getting angry with nobody. I don't work 18, 16 hours today. I don't have time for nobody calling me, telling me that I can't come to a church that I pay my tithes and offering at. Not that I own the church. I pay my tithes because that's due to God. But y'all really making me upset by telling me I can't come there because of my kids and their troubles.
Well, Sister Mayfield, where was you this past Sunday? You what now?
I wasn't at church because I had overslept, and why is that any of your business?
Now, there you go being in uproar with me again.
I don't know who this is. How could you call somebody about church business over the phone? This don't make sense.
Sister Mayfield, hello?
Yeah.
One more thing. This nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show, you just got pranked. I got you.
Oh my God. Wait I'm sorry. But y'all bogus. Y'all is so bogus. I'm like, who is this guy? We talking about church business.
You know what I like about you, though?
What?
Ain't nobody gonna keep you out the Lord's house. You gonna show up and show out every Sunday.
Every Sunday, I'm coming to church in the name of Jesus.
I know that's right, baby.
Well, thank you.
Hey, baby, let me ask you something. What's the baddest radio show in the land?
Now, do you even have to ask me that? The Steve Harvey Morning Show, baby.
Oh, I love her laugh. I love her laugh. It's so
Tommy,
infectious.
Tommy, as soon as you said, I got something else to tell you. This is nephew Tommy from the street. She hollered laugh.
Yes, I love her laugh.
Oh, my God. She was good. That was good. Oh, man.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Stupidity, baby. I bring ignorance. Jay, how was I, Jay?
That was excellent, man. If
Thank
there was
you,
a
Jay.
word better than excellent, I can't think of it right now.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I know who that. I know who the ass now. When I do something, I know who the ass.
Beyond excellence. Beyond excellence. To the moon and back.
Watch this. Watch this. Junior, how was I?
Boy, you ignorant.
He gave you love. He gave you love.
Shirley, how was I?
It was good. You're the king of pranks. King of pranks.
Right. Last but not least, Mr. Steve Harvey, how was I today?
I can't believe how good you are.
Isn't it the truth?
You the best. Man, how in the world do you live with your own greatness?
It's so hard, man. It's so
got to
hard.
be.
Woo!
What you say,
To
Jay?
be who I am, I mean, it's difficult. It really is.
It's got to be, man.
Steve said he doesn't know how you live with your own greatness. Jay
It's
said,
got to be hard.
it's got to be tough. It's got. Wow.
It's
Talk
so
about
much
blowing
excellence
smoke.
it's so much excellence you could put the excellence you have in another person and still have excellence left over. That's how much excellence you
Wow.
have.
Now, see,
inside
that's a compliment.
You could put
See,
all
now,
that
that's
in
how
another
you
person,
compliment me.
and
And
they
you're-
would be full with
What?
excellence.
And that's for free, Jay? You're saying this? He didn't pay you or anything. Wow. Wow.
That's how you compliment you, though.
Shirley, you think I need to pay somebody for compliments? Is that what you're saying, Shirley?
Touch it.
What are you saying, Shirley?
I'm just, he's all
No,
in.
Shirley, I'm asking you a question. I want you to answer.
I
Are you saying?
know.
Okay.
Well,
so
let's
can you
just
answer?
see. Pay someone and we'll see how well they do. I don't think you need to.
Okay.
Jay did it for free.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Be careful with me. Be careful with me, Shirley. Okay.
But Tommy, if
Be
you
gentle.
paid me though, Tommy, but
I just
boy,
called you the king of
compliment-
pranks. Lighten up.
I need more.
So you get edgy because you need more compliments.
I need more. I need
Cash
more.
at me $100 and watch I take us out with these compliments.
Cash happy. How much?
No, cash at me $100. Watch this.
You gonna change?
We'll
let him have it.
We'll let your uncle close it out with how great you are. Go ahead, Steve.
Your greatness is a real asset to those of us on this show. Being able to even call you my damn nephew. Man.
Whoa. All right. All right. Thank you, Steve,
I want
for that.
that
What
recording.
have I done to deserve such? Oh.
Wait. Up next, Strawberry Letter. Subject, I don't want to hurt the little guy. Ooh, we'll get into it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Well, 8 days. 8 days. Told you this time was going by fast. Just 8 days until the November 3rd election, okay? Please go to vote.org in some states. You can still vote early in some states, okay? Vote.org is a place you need to go to find out when you can early vote in your state and how much longer you have. Please, let's get this done. Let's get it done.
They voting though, man. It's some people
Yeah,
voting.
they are. Yeah,
They
millions
vote,
and
man.
millions of people have already voted. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you to the ones who've already voted and who voted early. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I know. All of us here on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. All of us.
We got more work to do, though. Let's go.
Yeah, we do.
Come on,
Yeah.
people.
Mm-hmm. All right, time now for today's Strawberry Letter. And listen, if you need advice on relationships, dating, work, parenting, sex, and more, please submit your Strawberry Letter to steveharveyfm.com and click Submit Strawberry Letter. We could be reading your letter live on the air, just like we're going to read this one right here, right now. Yeah.
Buckle up and hold on tight. We got it for you. Here it is, the Strawberry Letter.
Subject, I don't want to hurt the little guy. Dear Steve and Shirley, I dated a guy off and on for about 3 years, but we never had sexual relations because I was having myself a good time dating several men at once, and I was celibate. He was a perfect gentleman and had every quality that I prayed for in a man, but I wasn't ready to settle down. Now that I'm 29, I decided it was time. My heart led me back to the guy I'd been casually dating, and he was still single, and he still wanted me. 2 months into dating, we had sex, and since then, I haven't been able to tell him that I don't want him, and it's over. Before we had sex, he kept telling me that he wanted to taste my entire body, and he bragged on his skills in the bedroom. I've been celibate for 5 years, so I told him he better bring it, and I couldn't wait. It finally happened, and it was a very romantic night. ... at first. Then he started with a lot of wet kissing and licking my face, which was different than his usual sensual kiss. He proceeded to lick my entire body with his tongue, drenching me in his saliva, which was very uncomfortable. By the time we got to the actual sex part, I just wanted it to end. He got a condom, put it on, then turned to me, and all I could see was a baggy something hanging from him. Shirley, the thing didn't even fit. Shirley.
Wow.
Why
you in it?
Hey, Shirley, she ain't talking to me.
No. I wanted to run out of there, but I didn't. I endured close to 5 minutes of heavy panting, moaning, and sweating. I didn't say one word because I didn't feel a thing. He jumped up afterwards and had the nerve to start bragging and said he tried to take it easy on me since it's been a while. Negro, please. How should I let little man know that I won't ever be going back for seconds? Please advise.
Hey, first of all, I want to thank y'all
for
this letter right here.
Yes. Yeah. This is one tailor-made for you. Yeah.
Happy Monday, huh?
Yeah. But you know what, Steve? This is some criticism that has no happy ending. I mean, if you go ahead and do that and tell him. And I hate these kinds of letters. I do, because there's no easy way to tell him something like this. You can't tell anyone something like this. He's too small. You didn't feel anything. You can't tell him that. No matter what you do or how you say it or how easy you try to let him down, his feelings will be hurt. And his ego will be crushed, okay? I say all of that because you called him little man. You know, you kind of clowned him a little bit. I don't want you to clown him if you decide to tell him this. I don't know. This is too crushing. And please don't forget that you said your heart led you back to him. So you initiated this relationship and all of this. And on another note, how you stayed there that long for the tongue saliva drenching is beyond me. Ugh. It's just way too much. But the reality is people break up every single day. They break up every single day. You can break it off with him. You just have to tell him something else. Just don't let that be the reason, please, because, again, you will crush him. Steve?
Yeah. I think the part that we're failing to realize in here is that crushing is, we learn, the majority of our lessons we learn in life are from failure and disaster. All the valuable lessons I've learned in my life came off the footnotes, the tail end of a disaster or a failure. So let's look at this failure. You dated this guy off and on for 3 years. never had sexual relations with him because you was dating several men at once and you was celibate. Perfect gentleman, everything you ever wanted, but you wasn't ready. Then you finally decided you did. And here's the key. Your heart led me back to the guy I'd been casually dating. He was still single. He still wanted you. You should have asked yourself right then, after 5 years of playing him off, why is he still available? You have got to ask yourself that, ladies. When you meet a man that's perfect, ain't ever been married, ain't got no kids, you have got to ask yourself one question. Why is this man so perfect, ain't never been married, and ain't got no kids? When we come back, I'll tell you why.
All right, we'll have part 2 of Steve's response coming up at 23 minutes after the hour. Subject, I don't want to hurt the little guy. We'll be back right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, come on. Let's recap my strawberry letter for today. The subject is, I don't want to hurt the little guy.
Oh.
That sounds so sad.
29-year-old girl been celibate for 5 years. Finally met somebody she wanted to make a move with, and her heart led her back to this man. Come to find out, it just so happened he's still single. He's still available, and he still wanted her. Well, you had been celibate and everything, and you just started dating him. 2 months in, y'all had sex. And you ain't been able to tell him that you don't want him and it's over. Now, let me tell you what happened. Before y'all had sex, he kept telling you he wanted to taste my entire body. That right there was what he knows is his specialty. Tasting. Tasting is his specialty. He led with it. He told you that's what he wanted. He said that's what he was going to do. Y'all got your clothes off, and he started kissing. Then he started licking your face. See, that wasn't licking your face. The tasting had begun. And he told you he wanted to taste your entire body. Because this is what he got. This his best thing is the tasting. Well, he started all this wet kissing, licking your face. And it was just different than the usual kisses. Then he started to lick your entire body with his tongue. Now, let me tell you something. When you're out under the covers and you start getting your whole body licked with his tongue, obviously he's thirsty. But his thirst brings on a lot of moisture because your tongue will get dry after you lick an arm. If you lick a whole arm, that ought to dry the regular man's mouth out. If you lick a woman's arm, that should dry out your whole mouth. But obviously, this excited him. He was just slobbering the whole time.
He was what?
Slobbering.
Oh, with an L.
Slobbering.
Yes.
Not slobbering.
Right.
Slobbering.
Got
Slobbering is when it's more to come. So next thing you know, your shoulders is wet. Both your arms is wet. All up around your neck is wet. And slobber is different than water. It's a little thicker. It's a little thicker. And now here he come all around your breast. Now he all down by your navel. Now the whole top of your body just ice cold. He just steady slobbering on your ass.
You stay there for that.
You about to run up out this damn room. You about to lose your mind. This nasty ass sitting up in here slobbering on me. Will you hurry up and get to this? He did your entire body. Now your inner thighs is wet. Your kneecaps is wet. All on the back of your calves is wet. You just sitting up there with this man just slobbering on your ass. Where is this going, boy?
Right.
This is too much. Now you say, which was very uncomfortable. Yeah. By the time we got to the actual sex part, I just wanted it over. Hell yeah, because you're cold. You're cold.
Oh, that's why.
You're ice cold and you're wet. And you ain't even wet, you just damp. You know how it feels when you're damp? You ever had a wet T-shirt on after you work out and go out in the air condition, hit it, and you want to take it off? That's where she at. But you can't get it off because it ain't an article of clothing. It's slobber. So now he got the condom. He put it on. And when he turns around, it looked like somebody done draped a sheet of saran wrap on him. It's just hanging off of him. Boy, let me tell you something. That's hard when you don't fill up a condom. It's hard. Now, the chances of you getting pregnant is very high. Very high. Because he ain't going to be able to stay on.
Yeah.
Little man to turn around, and then he started. It ain't fit. You wanted to run out of there, but you tried to hang in there. Because you thought, well, maybe hold on. Maybe hold on. Maybe he'll rise to the occasion. Maybe he'll somehow fill up the room. Maybe he'll somehow, his love will expand.
We get it.
Oh, he in there all the 5 minutes, heavy panting, moaning and sweating. You didn't say
like
one
an
word
eternity
because
to her.
you didn't feel a damn thing. Well, I got news for you. He didn't either. See, you wasn't the only one to feel nothing. He didn't either. Because when you're a little man, it ain't nothing for you to feel. That's why he got to do the heavy breathing and breathing, because he got to work himself up. Because ain't no friction. He just over there. And he jumped up and had the nerve to start bragging, said he tried to take it easy on you since you've been. Then you said, Negro, please. I know what you really said. It was an N, but it wasn't Negro.
Post your comments on today's Strawberry Letter at Steve Harvey FM on Instagram and Facebook. And don't forget to check out the Strawberry Letter podcast on demand. Now, coming up at 46 minutes after the hour, Sports Talk with Junior. It's coming up next, Steve. You asked earlier, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, guys, here we go. Junior's here with Sports Talk. Come on, Junior.
Sports Talk. Here we go.
Yeah,
Sports
ready,
Talk.
Steve?
Been waiting. I'm ready. Here it is. Come on, Junior.
Congratulations
who?
to the Cleveland Browns.
For what?
Out the
for
gate,
the win
Junior?
they pulled
For
out.
the win. The comeback
Yeah.
win. You talking about with 6 seconds on the clock?
Yes, sir. That was. I watched
The
that.
Berry
You talking
one.
about Baker Mayfield walked and won the game?
Yeah,
Why
that
you
was.
start
Thank
with
you,
this,
Junior.
Junior?
Well, I
Thank
just
you,
got to
Junior.
get it out the way.
Get it
Tom.
out
Why
the
you
way,
start
man.
with Cleveland?
Oh,
Well, we can't talk about the Texans.
Well, I think we should. I don't want all the time dedicated to my city.
Oh, please.
Okay, let me just get out the way, because obviously Tommy wants to talk about the Texans. Thank y'all, Cleveland fans. We've won 5 games this year. Praise God. I know we ain't all that, but we damn sure acting like it. And as long as we play teams that ain't 500, we gonna warm their ass.
Yeah, they
Now,
got it, man.
enough about me. Go ahead, Junior.
Well, you know, there's some other news that happened in sports this weekend. Antonio Brown got another job, huh?
Yeah, okay.
Antonio Brown signed with
What?
the Tampa Bay Buccanoneers.
Sure
yeah,
did.
Man.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I just have a few.
What else happened?
Worse. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna talk about the Texans. We will say this though. I got 4 words for Antonio Brown. Just probably gonna help you out this time around in the league. Put your phone up. That's it. Don't pull your phone out. Don't do nothing else. You got a second chance.
That's good, Junior.
So I
That's
wrote a
good.
poem for him to help him. Yeah, this is to help him. This is what he should be thinking. If he's not thinking these things,
Okay, so Junior, so what you said, sports is gonna be 2 segments today.
no.
You got to get in your point. Can you
Hey, man,
Go ahead.
hold on, Junior. Haven't we done your team? Ain't we got Cleveland out the way, right?
Poetry is a different segment. I don't know why this is all up in the
We're
sports.
splitting hairs in Junior's
This is just a
segment
poem that I thought Antonio Brown should be thinking about. If he's not
Okay.
thinking these things, he should start right away. Here
Okay,
it
go
goes.
ahead.
Poem called Antonio Brown. That's it. Okay, here we go. thanks for giving me another chance. Lord knows I really need it. I threw away a lot of money that was stupid and conceited. I'll show up for practice on this time. And that's a bet you can bet. I'm standing outside the building now, and practice hadn't even started yet. I'll wash your car, I'll run some errands, and do a little cooking too. Because if I F this up this time, I know my ass is through. So thanks for giving me another chance. Didn't think I'd get picked up. Lord, please help me to do the right thing. And don't F this good job up. The end.
Thank you, Junior. Hey, we'll be back right after this, y'all. I got it, Shirley.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, we back, everybody. Welcome back to Steve Harvey Morning Show. We're about to play Murder the Hits with my buddy J. Anthony Brown. And Junior, last half of sports, go ahead. What happened with the Texans? Because I know Tommy wanted to hear.
We lost.
I know what happened with the Texans.
You lost.
I don't have to hear it.
Yeah, we lost.
I don't have to
Green
hear
Bay
it.
What?
Packers. Yeah, we lost by a lot. 35-20. We just didn't play well.
To who?
To the Green Bay Packers. We didn't show up this week again.
Yesterday?
Yes, yesterday.
What is this?
You know this, man.
You already knew. You already knew.
Wow. Man, my bad, y'all.
But the Cowboys lost too, so we good. Long as the Cowboys keep losing.
Oh, damn, man.
Yeah.
How do Cowboys keep losing but still number one in their division? How does that happen?
My husband said the same thing.
Is Houston,
How do you do that?
is the Texans in their division?
No.
No.
Hey, man, if y'all was in the Cowboys division, y'all would be in second place.
We sorry.
All right, come on. Introduce your
Jay.
friend, Jay.
Ladies and gentlemen, J. Anthony Brown, Murder the Hits.
Here we go. No, I haven't. Never here. Everybody has seen Mitch McConnell's hand in the news. Now, first of all, let me just say this. I'm not insulting his hand. I would never do that because that would be insensitive to sing a song about a man's hand. The song I'm singing is a warning. Go get checked out. And I put the song to the words of Bill Withers' grandma's hand. It's called Mitch McConnell's Hands. I will sing it a cappella.
Not a cappella.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mitch McConnell's hand. Man, that's some kind of warning. McConnell's hand. Man, it really don't look well. Mitch McConnell's hand. It might fall off in the morning. I say, get someone to look at that fast, cause it might fall off in the grass, and you'll only have one to wipe your ass. Mitch McConnell's hand. Mm-hmm.
Outstanding.
You an evil old ass bastard, man.
I love it, Jay.
Mitch McConnell's hand. Something's wrong, and that's a warning. McConnell's hand. Man, it really don't look well. Mitch McConnell's hand. It might fall off in the morning. I say, get someone to look at that fast. It might fall off in the grass, and you'll only have one to wipe. You'll only have one to wipe. You'll only have one.
Sing it, baby.
Only one. Not two, but one. Not two, but one. Not two, but one.
Stupid.
Not two, but one. To wipe. Take care. Do what you gotta do. Clean yourself up. You won't have to. Not you. You only have one to wipe.
Come on.
Wipe.
Bring it home.
How much time we got left? How much time we got left?
30
How much
seconds.
time?
30
Got a second.
seconds.
You only have one to wipe. Why?
I hate him.
Take it on home, Steve. Take it on home. Take it, Steve.
I feel like I've been in a Porgy and Bess Broadway.
Your old ass.
Coming up, more of today's trending stories on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. We'll be back in 20 minutes after the hour.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Time now for our Tell Me Something Good segment. Congratulations are in order for Cardi B. Cardi B has teamed up with Master P's Rap Snacks for a line of pork rinds. If you want to try barbecue with honey, spicy vinegar, or barbecue cheddar, you can get them at Walmart. The best part of this collab is the voting initiative attached to it. Each bag has a built-in QR code that'll take you directly to the Rap Snacks Vote website. It'll give voters all kinds of tools they'll need to get ready for early voting, mail-in voting, and more. And time is running out. We only have 8 days left, so please buy your snacks and check it out if you haven't voted.
Now that's stepping up pork rinds right there. That's
Yeah,
stepping
it
up
is.
pork rinds
Yeah.
a lot.
It is,
Pork
Jay,
rinds
you're
ain't
right.
never did that, man.
And it's no shock considering Cardi B is pretty political. You know, she interviewed Bernie Sanders. She's formally endorsed Joe Biden, you know. So good for her, you know,
Yeah.
being
Young people
conscientious
vote. Go ahead, girl. That's
about
good.
voting.
That's really
Yeah,
good.
please do. Yeah, she has millions of followers, so hopefully they will. And in other good news, Every Vote Counts, a celebration of democracy, will be hosted by Alicia Keys and Kerry Washington. That's going to air October 29th at 9 p.m. Eastern on CBS and iHeartMedia radio stations. Also, special appearances by Offset, Chris Rock, Jennifer Lopez, and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Star
People
power.
are doing whatever they can. Yeah, time is running out. We got to get it done. All right, more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show and some trending news coming up at 33 minutes after the hour, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
In today's entertainment news, R&B singer and musical legend Angela Bofill is not dead. You hear that, Steve? She is not dead. On Saturday, October 24th, Angela Bofill became the victim of a death hoax, and it was circulating all over social media. Angela Bofill corrected the rumor in a Facebook post. She said, "My manager, Rich Engel, just informed me that I died." Thank you, everyone, for everyone reaching out, but I am very much on the right side of the grass. So
Who
that's
does
good
that?
news.
Who makes
Yeah.
these type of hoax like that? Who does that?
So terrible. But we are so glad.
And it seems
You better sing my song.
it's not enough.
Let him use you.
And you know I can.
You know he gonna probably need this whole.
Even if you're
Angela
not
Bofill
there.
for young people listening. That's
He's
her
taking
most
us out.
Famous song.
I tried.
Not what you want.
Ladies,
Dang.
ladies, when you breaking up with somebody.
Boy, that's a, yeah. If y'all ain't got it, please go Apple Music and buy I Try. And I promise you gonna love it. For those of you that's not familiar with it, I Try by Angela Bofill. Pull it up, buy it, 99 cents. You'll make it a forever in your club. I'd like to dedicate that to Carla Farrell.
My jam. Thank you, sir.
Try to do the best I can for you, but it seems it's not enough.
Loser.
Oh, that's a bad jam. I saw her live at the Front Row Theater.
Yes. Is it anybody you ain't
Lord,
seen?
I wanted her. Hell no.
You seen
Me and J. Anthony Brown done been to every damn concert. On a dog. It was the only thing to do back then. That was the date. Phyllis Hyman, Angela Bofill. I saw Sade
we seen them
live.
all.
Oh, dog.
Oh, Sade.
Phyllis Hyman was cold.
Yeah.
Shaka Khan,
Yes.
Maze.
Phyllis Hyman was
I
cool.
opened for Maze was my first opening gig, and a friend of mine, James Wooford, gave me $200 and bought me a linen suit to open for Maze. God,
Man.
Have you
I
seen
made
him?
$250. Yeah, he stole $33,000 from me.
Who did?
James Wolf.
How much though?
What?
$33,000. All I
stole?
had. $33,000. 1995. Stole $33,000. All I had. All I had.
How?
All I had. He was the
How'd that
manager of my
happen?
comedy club.
Coming up, it's our last break of the day.
It is the last break of the day. We won't have no more breaks today. So don't sit there looking at me.
Coming up.
Little JJ.
And coming up at 49 minutes after, the one and only Steve Harvey. You have some special closing remarks today, don't
Very,
you,
very
Steve?
special.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss these, folks.
We'll be back right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, 8 more days until the November 3rd election. We hope that you guys have already gone out to early vote. If you haven't, please go to vote.org to find your voting locations and to find out when you can vote early, how much longer you have. We want to get this done, okay? We want to get this done. 8 more days, Steve. Wow.
Absolutely. You know, and y'all, we really do have to get to these polls. Go early. Make sure you got your business in order. This is an important election. You know, we on this show, all of us, Shirley, Carla, Kier, Jay, Tommy, we've all voted. We've all spent every single closing remark since the summertime has been dedicated to one thing, to getting our listeners out to the polls to vote. This is so important. We've tried every technique. We've asked you to vote. We've given you voter information, websites. I locked up with D.L. Hughley and Ricky Smiley about this. We're on a united front because we have got to get this country in a better place. For us, it has been saddening to me to see the number of black people who come out and actually think and actually have said out loud. This one group was sitting in the White House and told Donald Trump, "You're actually our first black president." He sat there just smiling and nodding with that grin on his face. It has been alarming to me when I see commercials, when I see black people on it saying, because he cares about people like me. I don't see any of it. But I found something that I wanted to share with you all in this closing remarks. This is a man named Kevin Murriel. He is a pastor. And I think he was speaking, or it's his church, I'm not really sure, but it was at the Cascade United Methodist Church in Atlanta. He did something and said something in front of a congregation that really moved me, and I wanted to share it with you. These are my closing remarks today. This is Kevin Murriel from the Cascade United Methodist Church.
You praise this president for being pro-black. Before you praise this president for caring about ethnic communities and marginalized populations, do your homework. Well, some of y'all didn't do your homework. They didn't do their homework. So let me tell you just a little bit of research, not just him personally, but also some of his policies. Perhaps before they went and sat at this table, they should have done their homework. Because if they had done their homework, they would have known that President Trump has ramped up mass incarceration by instructing Attorney General Jeff Sessions to revitalize the war on drugs. They would have known that of the 87 picks for federal judges, 85 have been white and just one has been black and one has been Hispanic. They would have known that President Trump supported the Department of Justice engaging in unlawful voter purges, making it difficult for blacks to go and vote. They would have known that Trump is ending protection for predatory lenders, which disproportionately harm black people. They would have have known that he is ignoring the affordable housing crisis by ordering HUD to triple the rents of poor tenants in public housing, which mostly affect black people. Do your homework. They would have known that he is proposing cutting $200 billion over the next 10 years from supplemental nutrition assistance programs that will bring more hunger in black and brown communities. They would have known that Trump is worsening the health of black communities through environmental deregulation, which disproportionately harms black people through exposure to pollution. Now, that's just a few on the policy side, but you don't have to go too far to ask what about him personally would make me know that he is not pro-black. I'm glad you asked, because in 1970, Trump's real estate company tried to avoid renting apartments to black tenants and gave preferential treatment to white tenants. He began his 2016 presidential campaign with a speech disparaging Mexican immigrants as criminals and rapists. Y'all remember that? In 2016, he said of people of color, you are living in poverty, your schools are no good, you have no jobs.
I just wanted somebody else's take on it. Look, listen. You can find something good that you want to say about President Trump, and I'm not in an argument with you about it. I'm just talking to you about what's wrong. And what's wrong is so obvious and so blatant and so divisive. Such divisive measures have been taken to divide this country. You can't say there's good people on both sides. You can't say that. It's not. You can't be in a hate group, a white supremacist group, and be a good person. No more than you if you're in a black militia operation that goes around killing white people. You can't say those are good people, because it's just not, man. I'm sorry. So what are we going to do? We have an opportunity here to do something. We have an opportunity to vote for senators. Mike Epstein in Mississippi. Yes. Warnock, what's his name in Georgia?
Raphael Warnock.
Raphael Warnock. You have a chance to vote for Jaime Harrison in South Carolina. It's so many things we can do
our guest today.
To vote and, man, make a difference. Go to the polls, y'all. Take somebody to the polls. Encourage all your friends and relatives to go vote. And let's do something about this, man. I know you have had enough. I have. He got to go. He don't think Black Lives Matter. You're going to find out that they really do, because we're going to vote. I bet they're going to matter after this.
For all Steve Harvey contests, no purchase necessary, void where prohibited. Participants must be legal U.S. residents at least 18 years old unless otherwise stated. For complete contest rules, visit SteveHarveyFM.com.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.